Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace be upon you all. From International Quranic Scientific Research Center, Anantapur. Just Alhamdulillah, I have authored a poem called Hajj-Practice in Universe. Hajj-Practice in Universe. Let me read it in the name of Allah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Al-Quran contains, we do know well. Al-Quran contains, we do know well, for the guidance of all the literary commands, called the Sar in Arabic, Allah Saya, Allah Saya, to our astonishment, further discloses Allah, to our astonishment, further discloses Allah, heavens and earth's material units all, heavens and earth's material units all, nothing they are but his material ayah. Quranic ayah 2:164 and 3:190. Well, we know Al-Quran is Allah's word. Well, we know Al-Quran is Allah's word. Must we know universe is Allah's work? Must we know universe is Allah's work? Bridge is human mind. Bridge is human mind in between his word and work. Bridge is human mind in between his word and work. Such mind's power failed to apply if people, such mind's power failed to apply if people to understand both his cosmic depth, word and work, to understand both his cosmic depth, word and work, throws that Allah on such people, wide Quran 10:100. Not limited to the jinn and men, not limited to the jinn and men, Allah's guidance of Al-Quran, Allah's guidance of Al-Quran, in huwa illa dhikril lil alamin, but it is guidance for all the worlds. Quran, Al-Quran 12:104. Stand this divine truth for test and verification. Stand this divine truth for test and verification. Pour our thoughts, let us on the Hajj journey take up. Pour our thoughts, let us on the Hajj journey take up. By the devotees to the first house of Allah. By the devotees to the first house of Allah. Situated it is at Mecca of Arabia. Situated it is at Mecca of Arabia. Tawaf is the worship to be performed first there. Tawaf is the worship to be performed first there. 7 times going around the Kaaba by the devotees. 7 times going around the Kaaba by the devotees. 7 times going around the Kaaba by the devotees in both macro and micro universities. In both macro and micro universes, it is testable, verifiable, confirmable nature's practice. Testable, verifiable, and confirmable nature's practice. This tawaf worship, let us pursue at macro level. This tawaf worship, let us pursue at macro level. How enthrallingly planets of solar system to perform it. How enthrallingly planets of solar system to perform it. Rotating around the sun center non-stop. Rotating around the sun center non-stop. Similar is the case of trillions of stars. Similar is the case of trillions of stars. Rotate they beautifully around their galaxy centers. Rotate they beautifully around their galaxy centers. The case of galaxies is not different. The case of galaxies is not different. Rotate they mesmerizingly around their cluster center. Rotate they mesmerizingly around their cluster centers. This tawaf worship let us observe at the micro level. This tawaf worship let us observe at micro level. How magnificently electrons in the atom do perform it. How magnificently electrons in the atom do perform it. Rotating around their nucleus incessantly. Rotating around their nucleus incessantly. Similar is the case of fluid cytoplasm in the cell. Similar is the case of fluid cytoplasm in the cell. Rotate it splendidly around its nucleus. Rotate it splendidly around its nucleus. That physics conformatively disclose. That physics conformatively disclose. Brick is the atom of the entire universe. Brick is the atom of the entire universe. Does biology profoundly profess? Brick is the cell of all physical bodies. Brick is the cell of all physical bodies. Thus it becomes imminent to declare. Thus it becomes imminent to declare. Tawaf worship is the nature's practice in continuum. Tawaf worship is the nature's practice in continuum. Upon this undeniable worship, nature performs. Upon this undeniable worship, nature performs. In His name, when we ponder, enormously power-based wisdom emerges out. Enormously power-based wisdom emerges out to do away all the evils that pervade in the self-formed society. To do away all the evils that pervade in the self-formed society. For all the evils that exist in the world, for all the evils that exist in the world, the self-centric life is the prime cause. The self-centric life is the prime cause. Now the Quranic wisdom does propose in His name to turn self-centric life into Allah-centric life, to turn self-centric life into Allah-centric life, to exchange self-interest with Allah's interest, to exchange self-interest with Allah's interest, to transform self-welfare into social welfare, to transform self-welfare into social welfare, to replace inequality with equality to all, to replace inequality with equality to all, to replace injustice with justice to all. In His name, man must evolve from narrow ism's self. In His name, man must evolve from narrow ism's self into the boundless universal self, into the boundless universal self, by becoming one with Allah's will, by becoming one with Allah's will, thereby establishing universal peace, thereby establishing universal peace. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all. Ye Mohammad Khasim from Quranic Scientific Research Center, Anantapur.